Hi everyone, my name's Katie Dolph.
I'm Danielle Pantaleone.
I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Louis Hong. So today we're going to talk about our startup idea of Uchew. Being that we are college students, we have noticed that our busy schedule have forced eating to become less of a priority and much of a burden. In these situations, we often find ourselves having to choose between physically get up and look for food while sacrificing our valuable study time, spending our own money on a delivery service, or skipping on meals altogether. But what if there was a food service that provides students meals without forcing them to put a pause on their day while helping them to save a good amount of money? So today we are presenting to you Uchew, a on-campus delivery service that allows students with meal plans to have on-campus meals delivered right to them. First of all, the delivery aspect of this service saves students a good amount of time since they do not have to get up and walk somewhere to get their food. Second of all, this service saves students a good amount of money since they are already using their meal plans to pay for their delivery service. Finally, utilizing the Uchew service is so simple that students won't have to skip out on meals anymore.
And that brings us to the mechanics of our service. So the first step is to sign on to the Uchew website using your school's Access account. Next, you would review the menus of the different on-campus dining locations your school has to offer. Following this, you would add food items to your shopping cart, and then once you've completed your shopping cart, you would type in the desired on-campus delivery location. And then the last thing you would do is just wait to receive a notification from Uchew that your food has arrived. So now that you understand the process of ordering your food, you're probably wondering how the food is actually getting to you. So students, employees that will be delivering your food will be using a GEM car. These cars have a minimum of 8 hours per charge. They have all the proper equipment to be legal on the streets, and they have an average operating cost of 3 cents per mile. So GEM cars are already used at some universities, including Penn State, which would be the first university that we would be targeting with this service. As for customer segments, we are targeting college students that have a meal plan. So in order to learn a little more about whether or not there would be a market for this service, we interviewed 20 college students at Penn State. So for the first graph, we asked students if they would prefer to purchase food using their meal plan or using their own money. And as you can see, 100% of them said that they would rather use their meal plan in order to purchase food. For the next graph, we asked students if they would utilize a service similar to Uchew. And as you can see, 80% of those that we interviewed said yes, while the remaining 20% said maybe. And then lastly, we asked students if they would purchase more food from on-campus dining locations if a delivery option was provided. So as you can see, 90% of the students that we interviewed said that they would.
So now that brings us to our revenue model. So Uchew is based off of a direct purchase model, so every time a student places an order on the website, Uchew gets money. Another way we would get revenue is through advertising. So brands would be able to advertise their products on the Uchew website. So for example, Penn State is partnered with PepsiCo, and many of their products are for sale throughout the dining hall. So Pepsi would be able to advertise their products throughout the Uchew website in order to encourage purchases. And now we have competition. So our top 3 competitors are Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Topingo. So Uber Eats and Grubhub do not utilize a meal plan, whereas we would. And we would be able to provide on-campus dining options. And Uber Eats and Grubhub also require a service fee and tip, and Uchew would not. And lastly, we have Topingo. And Topingo is probably our closest competitor, but they do not provide on-campus dining options or provide a student discount. Now we have milestones. So first, our pilot would be at the Pennsylvania State University in the fall of 2019. And then we would move on to Big Ten universities in the spring of 2021. And then lastly, hope to keep expanding across the nation in the fall of 2025.
So to talk about money a little bit more, as of right now, students who have a meal plan on campus receive a 65% discount when they eat in the dining hall. We would want to decrease that discount to 38%, which would give us a 27% difference. From this 27%, we will receive 14% of the profits to pay the employees and eventually develop an app down the line and pay that employee. And then Penn State will receive the other 13%. That 13% will help pay for the vehicle of the gem car and any other miscellaneous stuff like that. And then after talking to the director of residential dining, she said that only about 65% of the dining halls are only full about 65% of the time. So we want to increase an incentive to have employees work. So this 13% will help increase the wages of the employees and have more incentive to work and help deliver our food. And just to have more with the milestones, we will start off with our minimum viable product. We will not receive any profits from there because it is just us working with a group me and delivering the food from there. By the fall of 2019, we will have our service implemented at Penn State and we will begin receiving revenue from there. By the spring of 2021, we'll be at the Big Ten and hopefully we'll develop our app by then. So we'll still increase profits, but just not as sharply because we will be paying for that app. And by the fall of 2025, we will hope to be across the nation and still increasing our profits. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed our presentation.